Hi, my name is Samantha Lee. I'm a tabletop role-playing game designer, and I was a source artist for Ballet Collective's 2023 season. This is my reflection about the process and what it was like to be a source artist. This collaboration came about because the theme for the season was chance and probability, and when Troy and Fong met together and decided what type of source artist they wanted to commission, Fong brought up the idea of bringing on a tabletop RPG designer because there's a lot of chance involved in tabletop games, rolling dice, drawing cards, that sort of thing. The two of them reached out to me over email asking if I was interested in being part of the season this year, and I had to read that email like 3 times. It was just such a surprise and just such an incredible and delightful opportunity. I personally am really interested in how different art forms can influence and inspire each other, and how we can take different art forms and merge them together in new, interesting, and collaborative ways. And so what Ballet Collective is doing matched so well with my personal interests, and so of course I agreed to be part of this season. It was just such an incredible idea and opportunity. So then began the process of the three of us chatting about this game and about what we wanted it to be. And it went through multiple iterations. There were a few times where I brought ideas of a game to Troy and Fong, and we would talk about what we liked and what we didn't like. And as we had those discussions, we narrowed in on the things that we really wanted to include. For those of you who aren't very familiar with tabletop RPGs or TTRPGs, they are games that you play around a table and you play a character, and usually they're very imaginative, all about character development, storytelling. The most famous example of this is Dungeons and Dragons, but all of these shelves behind me are tabletop role-playing games. So there's all sorts of stuff that's out there. So when narrowing in on what we wanted out of this particular game, we decided on 3 things. 1, we wanted it to be a 2-player game that Fong and Troy could play together. 2 is that we wanted elements of abstraction in the game so that Fong and Troy could interpret things in different ways, and that they could take different pieces for inspiration with the choreography and the music. And then 3 is that we wanted an artifact of play, which is basically something that is created out of the process of playing the game. So for example, this could be a map that everybody draws as they play, or it could be a music playlist that you put together while playing. In the course of our game, the artifact of play was a deck of cards that you actually write and draw on during the game. And the end result of all of that ended up being The World We Left Behind, which is this game here. This is the copy that was made for Ballet Collective patrons, and it came out so well. The World We Left Behind is a game about 2 astronauts exploring a deserted world. There used to be a civilization here, but the people are there no longer, and during the course of playing, you are exploring this world and trying to learn what happened here. This was a really fun challenge for me to write as a game designer, taking these pieces and merging them into one game. I really enjoyed the process, and it gave me the opportunity to write in ways that I hadn't written before. For example, I'd never made a game that had an artifact of play in it, so that was really fun. After I handed the game to Fong and Troy, the two of them played it together, and then Fong went and composed the music, and Troy went and created the choreography. So at the time of this collaboration, I was actually living in New Hampshire, so all of this was remote. But I was invited to the rehearsal at Millbrook, and so I drove down, and I got the chance to meet everybody in person for the first time, which was just incredible. It was so much fun. I felt so welcome. Everybody was so nice, and it felt like this funny sort of reunion. And it was also the chance for me to both hear the music and see the choreography for the first time. If you are somebody who's involved in creative work, you probably understand the absolute joy of people being inspired by your work. And it is almost indescribable how I felt to both hear the music and see the choreography during this rehearsal. I remember sitting down, getting ready to listen to it, and as soon as the music started playing, I was just overwhelmed. And then I stayed overwhelmed for the next 25 minutes. It was just, it was truly incredible. I was just sitting there trying not to cry. And I would just remember listening to it and watching it and being like, this feels like The World We Left Behind. This feels like the game that I wrote. And but you can tell that there are influences in there based on the session that Troy and Fong played together. And there are pieces that I never would have thought to include. And just hearing the game transformed into an audio medium and then transformed into this visual medium with the dance was just truly indescribable and incredible. I was also fortunate enough that I was able to take the time to go to all 3 shows in New York City and attend Ballet Collective's first gala, which was a ton of fun. My family, including my grandmother, were able to travel up to New York City with me to attend opening night together, which was just so incredibly special to me to be able to share that with them. And then I was also able to meet some other TTRPG designers, and we all attended the 3rd show together. And it was just a delight being able to share this experience with friends and family. Also, very cool to be able to see the costumes for the first time, which were just incredible. And the lighting had changed so much, and it looked so amazing. Just seeing everything put together in the end was very exciting, and it just looked beautiful. And of course, the gala was a ton of fun. It was so wonderful to be able to meet other people who have been involved in Ballet Collective over the years, and to go to all these little stations and chat with people and just have a great time. It was so much fun, and it was so surprising around every corner and every room. And it's just such a nice community of people, and I was really delighted to be part of it this year. It was just an unforgettable experience that I'm always going to treasure. And it was just so wonderful being part of this adventure with this amazing group of people. Thank you, Troy and Fong, for being just such incredible collaborative partners. It's been such a delight getting to know the 2 of you over this process, and I'm just so impressed with what you ended up coming up with in the end. It's just truly amazing, and the 2 of you are incredible. Also, thank you, Kristen, for organizing, all the organizing that you do, all the communication that you've been doing. You're just a delight to talk to, and thank you for all the work that you've put into all of this. Also, huge thank you to all of the dancers who took part of this. I am amazed by your ability, and I am honored that you have worked so hard on something that I was involved in. I wish that I got the chance to know you better over the course of the season, and I wish you the best of luck in all of your future endeavors. And also thank you to Ben, who did all of the lights. The lights were incredible. They were just, I'm blown away. Thank you to Ballet Collective for inviting me on this season. I have just felt so welcomed by everybody involved, and it has been a truly unforgettable, incredible experience. And I cannot wait to see what Ballet Collective does next.